Hello everyone. So today let us continue learning eazyBI, and today we'll do something really useful. I mean, most of my videos are useful, but today I believe the report that we'll create is going to solve a lot of your problems. So what we'll do, we'll create a report that will show the list of issues, but not just simple list of issues, but at the same time we'll try to follow we'll try to show the hierarchy. Now in Jira, of course, even natively, I mean, when I say natively, even with the standard version of Jira or the free version of Jira, you can have some hierarchy. Of course, you have normal roadmaps, but you may want to use advanced roadmaps if you're using Jira Premium. But irrespective of your plan, you will have some hierarchy. It could be just epic, story, subtask, or it could be maybe initiative, feature, epic, and then story, and then subtask. So if you're using advanced roadmaps, if you're on a premium version of Jira, if not, no worries at all. This particular report will help you to visualize your hierarchy. And I'm using this standard version of Jira. Of course, I'm not really paying for it, but the concept is same. So what we'll do, we'll create a new report. And for this report, I'll go to Analyze, and I'll go to my folder where it says all projects. And to create a new report, I'll click on the new report button on top. And what we'll do, so this is the interface, right? And what we need to do, we need to use, of course, on top we have these dimensions. So we'll bring in the issue to the rows. And the moment you, not to the pages, to the rows. And the moment you do it, you can immediately see that, we have the number of issues displayed here, which is 492. Great. So we have some nice information. Now what we can do is we can actually expand this. I mean, if you go inside the issue, and if you also take a look at the all hierarchy level members. So this is where all the important thing about hierarchy will be available for you. Now, if you're using advanced roadmaps, most likely you will see something like advanced roadmap, and you can actually select your topmost level, initiative, or whatever it is, capability, feature, depending upon how you have configured your advanced roadmap hierarchy. Now, what I'll do in this case, because I don't really have advanced roadmaps on this particular instance, I will use Epic. Now, the moment you select Epic, you can actually see different levels here. So this is wonderful, right? I mean, not really levels, but basically the list of epics. And if I open one of the project in my Jira instance, not this instance of Jira, the same instance of Jira, I'll go to this clone iOS project where I know I have few epics, and basically I'll show you the roadmap. Now, many people, in fact, it is a common question that people ask on the community almost on a regular basis, that we want to use roadmap, but it is a bit limited. Can we do this? Can we do that? And I feel bad because I always say that, okay, go and take a look at advanced roadmaps. But advanced roadmaps is not really an option for many people because you have to be on premium. Then the other option is to use an app for agile road mapping, like Big Picture, for example. But eazyBI is also one such app that you can use. And using eazyBI, you can of course create a Gantt chart, which I have shown, by the way. I think I did show it. So the main thing is that because eazyBI is an app for reporting, you can actually create wonderful reports, and it can actually let you create reports based on those hierarchies. So this is of course a good start. And what we can see here is, if I open maybe the same epic, so right now we are talking about this iOS 2.59, and if I go to the same report, I do have this issue, right, which is of course going to give me the breakup. Wonderful. This is great. So basically this is going to show you the information, but of course we want to know more. What we can do now is we can also, because right now this epic name or the issue key is displayed here, but it will not always show you, or it might not be always clear that this particular issue type is an epic or a story. So what you can do is you can actually go to the measures again, and then you can go to the issue properties, and then search for something called as issue type, because we want to display issue type. So once you do this, you can actually see here that we have issue type, which you can probably bring in if you want, right next to the name. And by the way, if you're looking at this list, also take a look at the options. So if you click on it, like just click on it, and you can see here that it will show you this information where it will give you two options: display name with key or without key. So maybe if you want, if you don't really want to display the key, you can hide it. But I think it is good to display key, because you can obviously then take a look at the information later on if you want. And having this key is wonderful, because you want to always keep this key in mind, because whenever people are using Jira, this issue key is something that they always refer to. Okay, what is the status of this AN-1012 epic, whatever, right? So this is the information that you have. Now we can do more. I mean, obviously, if I click on this, I can see the list of epics. Now this information is a great start. This report is wonderful, but what if you want to know the status, right? So what we can do is we can go to the issue properties again, and you will find status somewhere. So let us search for the issue status, and this is a big list. But if you and by the way, these issue properties, these are in a way basically some measures that you have pre-configured. So if you want to select maybe issue status, just select it, and that is it. And you can also select maybe the issue assignee just in case, or maybe the project name. Let us see, do we have project here? I'm sure we have project, right? It should be here somewhere in the list, because you want to know the project. But most, I mean, if not, you can always, you can always write your own measure. Sometimes you want to display something, but you also want to have some logic. So you can always define your calculated measure. And we have learned, I think, in few videos how to work on MDX calculated measures, which is something, of course, you have to spend time. If you're trying to learn eazyBI, I think it is great that you learn MDX. Little bit, not really too detailed. So what we'll do, we'll probably also display, I'm just thinking of, I do know what I want to display for the progress. I want to show you how to display the progress. But what if you want to display the assignee name? So you can actually select here issue assignee, and this looks, I believe, let us take a look at the report. So we have the list of these assignees, and by the way, the assignee field is right now empty. So what I'll do, I'll probably use reporter, because I don't really want to show you this report, empty report, because it will not really look good. So okay, so we have the reporter, which is looking fine. Now this is great. We know that this is the epic, and we know the number of issues. I don't really care too much about the number of issues, but I care more about the progress. Although this information is useful, but if you remember, in one of the video, we actually created one calculated measure to display the progress. Now, the definition of progress is different for different teams in different companies. It could be number of issues resolved. It could be based on the effort. It could be based on the number of story points planned versus resolved, or it could be just based on, I mean, there are so many ways to calculate progress. But if you try to keep things straightforward, a good measure, a good way to track your progress is basically to use the issue resolution field. So if you resolve, let us say out of 10 issues, if you resolve 6 of them, or that resolution field, then you can probably consider that particular activity is done, or story, whatever. So you can actually create a measure called resolve percentage, and using this interface here, you can actually define this percentage. So basically what we are trying to do here is we are trying to use a measure. So, and by the way, if you are working with this MDX, this interface is not really difficult to use, in my opinion. I mean, you don't need to know each and everything, but try to use the autocomplete. So if we're talking about resolved, just keep on typing, and we're talking about number of issues resolved out of created, and you can simply do a simple division. And when you're doing division, make sure the formatting is set to the percentage, so that you can see the percentage in your report. So let us bring in the percentage, and what we can do is we can probably bring it somewhere here, so that we see this percentage right next to the name. So this looks good in my opinion. I mean, I'm quite happy with this information. I mean, I'm able to figure out by looking at this particular report, a simple report, that we now have things that are maybe 20% done or 30% done, and people who are responsible for I mean, especially stakeholders, higher management people, they don't really care about all these stories. They just want to know when are we launching the Android app. And we know by looking at this information that the Android app will be launched maybe in the month of September, based on the progress so far. And if you remember in the video where we talked about Gantt chart, I think for creating a Gantt chart, you need at least, I believe, start date and end date. And before I attempt to create a Gantt chart for the same, I mean, we can have this, some kind of a bar, which we have done, but I'll probably save it first. So let us save it as epic status, hierarchy status, whatever. I mean, just a name. But if you go to the Gantt chart, you can see here that it is going to be a similar report, but in this Gantt chart view, we are also looking at the same epics, right? But if you look at these epics, we are also using, if I switch to the table mode, so we are of course looking at the issue creation date, issue due date. I mean, just for the sake of 2 dates, but these dates could be from anywhere. I mean, depending upon how you're planning the work. And we also, I mean, this is the same report, right? I mean, if you look at this particular report here, we are doing exactly the same thing. But because people want to know how to work on the hierarchy, it is more about the issue dimension that you use in your report, and how you want to configure the report is based on what level you select. If you're using advanced roadmaps, then you will definitely have the option to simply use the level that you're interested in. Good thing about eazyBI is that it will actually, I mean, in the configuration, it will let you, if you're using advanced roadmaps, I think it will let you in the beginning, when you configure your source, that do you want to also include the hierarchy from advanced roadmaps. I believe there is a configuration, and you don't have to do too much. You just have to use it. That is it. And if you look at this particular report, it will show you this wonderful progress. And if you want to create a Gantt chart again, okay, let me start. Let me use the issue creation date. Where is it? Okay, issue creation date, and maybe I'll use issue due date. I mean, just in case. And because we have these states, if you click on the Gantt now, you will see this wonderful, beautiful looking Gantt chart, which is going to display this information and also the progress. This is wonderful. I mean, I guess you know that eazyBI is definitely my favorite, one of the favorite app. Of course, Script Runner, but Script Runner is of course my all-time favorite app for getting the most out of Jira. But eazyBI will let you create these reports in almost any format, and because it will let you also create these reports where you can also do your own custom calculation. So you have endless possibilities when it comes to eazyBI, and that is the best part. Now, if you're looking at the same report, and if you're trying to maybe present it to someone, just look at the information. Of course, you have the visual roadmap, but you can also see this wonderful pop-up where you have the information about the progress, or whatever information that you want to display, you can display it here. It depends how you want to see the report. I'm honestly because if you're making decisions, I like the idea of having visual indicators, but to make quick decisions, to basically take action on things, I would like to see all the data in front of me straight away, so that I can see, okay, so we are talking about this launch iOS app, the progress is maybe 20%, the status is this, and blah blah blah, and you can obviously drill down. And of course, right now it is not really in a way drill down, because we are just going one level below. But good thing is that this report will let you, for example, right now we're looking at clone launch Android app, and then we can take a look at the story, and then we can also take a look at all the subtasks and individual status of the subtask. But if you want to maybe do more, maybe if you want to click on the story, and if you want to maybe drill drill into maybe using another parameter, for example, maybe you want to know the same information but based on the user, you can do that. You can actually click on it, and it will actually give you this breakup further here. So you can see here that most of the issues are unassigned. So something similar, this can be done, of course, very easily when you're using eazyBI. You can do a drill down based on those different fields. It really helps when you want to see the information right in front of you, but it will, because you can drill into it, you have the option to go deep. Now, there's also one more thing, or maybe I should say a couple of things that I wanted to show you today, which is basically the same table format report, but maybe a bit more colors here and there. So maybe if you want to know, because of course right now we are looking at epics and stories and bugs and subtasks, maybe you want to show your epics in a different color, epics and stories, the first two levels. So what you can do is you can actually click on this issue type and then go to cell formatting, and then maybe you can select here exact value, which is epic, and based on so epics are usually displayed, these icons are like slightly purplish, so maybe if you want to select here the purple color, you can actually do that, something like this. I guess it will look good, and the text color could be white, I guess, up to you. So this is looking nice, right? Now stories are usually, if you look at one of the story, it is usually like greenish, light greenish color. So do the same thing, go to issue type and cell formatting, add a new value, new rule, story. Let us change it to this greenish color. It is not exactly the same green, but you have the option to use hexadecimal value. So that is the great thing about eazyBI. You have so many options, you can do things easily, but you have the option to configure it using, for example, if talking about colors, I'm a bit of a perfectionist when it comes to look and feel. Not always, but sometimes I need the exact hex value. For example, right now I'm working on this. If I do anything, I need access to those hex values. And if I press this shortcut on my keyboard, I can see all the hex values on my, which are basically saved in a file. So I can actually select it here. For example, if I know that I'm working on eazyBI reports, so I can type here eazyBI, and the moment I press enter, the hex value is actually copied for me. So I need those, these small things are important for me, so that I can use them if I have to. So going back to eazyBI, I love that they have the option to use hex values and similar things. You can do a lot of wonderful things with this. Now, last thing. So if you're talking about the progress, and of course we're talking about the progress in terms of percentage, and we don't really want Gantt chart, but we want the table, but we also want a little bit of colors here and there. So using the same concept, you can also do something like you can work on the percentage. So let us try if we can do something. Maybe if the progress is more than 50%, maybe I want to show it, or maybe if it is 100%, I want to show it in green color. Right, so it's a simple thing. So maybe if it is 100, then I want to use this greenish color, and of course it works. But what if you want to do it for the whole row? So you can actually select here, I think there was an option, yeah, apply to all cell rows. So this is wonderful, right? Now I can see this information, and I know that these issues are resolved because they are in a different color. And for rest of them, I need to, of course, do something about it, because none of the epics, in my case, is right now or yeah, some of the epics are definitely done. But it's a simple thing. I mean, whatever we are doing here right now is basically based on my needs, based on what I want to do in the tool. And it is not just a gadget that will give you this ready-made report with, of course, few configuration options, which is fine for majority of people. But if you're like one of those few, I don't really want to say that only few people want to do these reportings, like extreme customized reports. But having this ability to create a report in whatever format, the way you want to maybe present to your stakeholders, or maybe if you are a stakeholder, maybe if you are like me, who is always interested in hands-on approach and want to create reports by playing around, and you know that you can create any kind of report. I think eazyBI is probably one of those apps that I'm not really sure if there is any app that can do something similar within Jira, because eazyBI is an app. And today I wanted to show you these things. I mean, of course, we have covered not just one thing. I mean, it was, of course, the hierarchy. We also learned how to use or bring in different issue properties here. And we also learned a little bit of calculated measures. We learned how to create a Gantt chart. We also learned how to also do some formatting of your report. So let us end this video right now, and we'll continue playing with eazyBI, learning other wonderful things. So that is all I wanted to talk about. I hope you enjoyed watching this video and you learned something new. Thank you very much.